Hi, this is Chad, and this is video number 3 in my project series. Back in 2010, I built a teardrop style mandolin. So I kept the same color theme as the previous instruments that I built, which you can see in my other videos. For this instrument, I was highly influenced by the intricate designs of the Renaissance period. The black design on the face and the headstock was added by using a combination of a heat transfer tool and some good old-fashioned hand painting. I also placed some decorative edging, and it has an internal pickup so you can plug it into an amplifier. What I'm most proud of on this instrument is the rose in the sound hole right here. I created this from scratch with my Dremel tool and some hand tools. I'm really happy with how this mandolin turned out, and it sounds incredible. See the link below after you watch this video for a special holiday song that VEQUINOX recorded featuring this mandolin. I started this mandolin when we lived in Pittsburgh and finished it when we moved to Portland. The first step in building the mandolin was to glue the sides to the neck. I also glued the wood block to the back of it as well. I shaped the headstock and the neck. I then glued on the top using many clamps. This was a 2-piece solid spruce top that I specially ordered. You can see that I also placed the bracing on the top and the internal pickup at this time. I then glued the back on, again using many clamps and weights. I used a router for the edges and glued on the decorative edging. I used a lot of masking tape to hold this in place. As I mentioned earlier, I used a heat transfer tool and special vellum paper to burn the images into the wood. Then just use hand painting. This took a long time to complete. I placed a clear pickguard material to protect the hand painted design. The fret wire was cut and the frets were pounded into the fretboard with a small hammer. They were sanded and finished, so no sharp ends. The fretboard was shaped and glued on. The nut was installed. I cut and shaped this as well. The finish was then applied. More on that later. Has a floating adjustable bridge that I purchased. I installed the tuning machines. The tailpiece and strap button was placed. You can see the image for the rose and the Dremel attachment that I used to cut out all of the holes. I stained red inside the holes, so you can see the red if you look at the instrument from a certain angle. The rose is held into the sound hole with foam that is glued onto the back of it. It was strung up with light gauge strings. So the biggest problem I had with this mandolin was the finish. I read in Acoustic Guitar magazine about this new water-based finish that was environmentally friendly and supposed to be as durable as other types of lacquer. I followed the directions to a T and it still would not set up right. After a few tries and a lot of sanding, I got the top and sides to set up and it came out okay. However, I gave up when I could not get the back to set up properly, so I just ended up painting it red. Funny thing is, I found out that a luthier that uses this finish and described how to use it in the magazine lives in Portland. My wife Lisa took a jazz singing class, and the guitarist accompanying them was this luthier. Such a small world. I was tempted, but was too shy to go up and ask him anything about the finish. Now I just stick to using the lacquer that I'm used to. Thanks for watching. Please click the link below to watch VEQUINOX's video that Lisa put together that features this mandolin.